to the display board presentation, alternative to the meeting. We're talking about display boards. So when it comes to professional educators, it's important for us to make sure that everything looks nice and neat to model things for our learners. Not only should you look nice and neat, your classroom needs to look nice and neat. So display boards, what are they for? They're for everyone. It's to be pleasing to everyone. Who are they for? Everyone. What are they for? Communication. How should they look? They should look interesting, creative, neat, etc., etc. The purpose of the displays could be to teach, share, inform, or remind, and engage learners. Here's an example of a board for teaching. It has Women in Science and some different examples with their photos, with articles about women in science. This display board is to teach, and it's very nice because it has a background and a border that go along with the theme of science. Looks like the periodic table is the border, and there are color paper to back up the individual items being displayed. There are also some other connected props on that display. Very well done. Here's some displays from around our school. This one's in my classroom and it's used to share. You can see it has the wrapped paper, it has the color paper behind everything, it has a title, objectives. Here's another display. It's student work as well, but as you can see, there is no title, the objectives of the lesson are missing, and it's hard to tell who did the work. So we want to make sure that our displays are clear, not only who did the work, what was the purpose of the work, and needs to be pleasing to the eye. Otherwise, nobody wants to look at it. Some displays might just be to inform or remind students. There was a display in one of the classrooms is displaying the jobs of the class and the rules of the class. So not every board is the same. There's a variety of purposes. This one on the right is from my class, and we use this actually every day per unit. We change what it says by unit, and the success criteria are woven in to these missions that go along with our book. So that's why it says mission goals, so basically the objectives of the lesson. To engage, here's more of an interactive board, and we are encouraging more of this, to have these boards. Using sticky notes is a great way to do this, or even having like a whiteboard where the students can write something on it. That can be erased though, so that's not perfect. Neither is a sticky note can fall off, but there's other creative ways. Piece of masking tape you put somewhere in your classroom, and the students can rip off a piece of tape, write something on it. And these are good to have as activities for when students complete their other work, or when it's passing time, snack time, when students have some of their own time and they have to make decisions what they're going to do while they wait for their next lesson or their instructor, or what's going to happen next, or their transition. Oh, well, if I have nothing to do, more than likely I'm going to make a bad decision. Not every student can just simply, oh, there's nothing going on, I open up a book. So it's great for some learners, but other learners need more interaction. To have some place in the room where they can go and spend a few minutes is a great way to help manage a class. Whoa, what's going on over there? Put that down. Why don't you go over to the interactive board and write down a question for the class, or write down a new word that you're trying to learn, or something that's bothering you, or something that's confusing you. In my classroom, I know you guys now have these buff boxes, but I used to have what's called a teacher box in my classroom. And the teacher box, well, anyway, the teacher box was a place where students could write a little note to the teacher talking about something that's bothering them, or something that they're happy about, that they just wanted to share, that it was just a private thing between me and them. So it's like, oh, you have nothing to do? Why don't you tell me about your weekend? Write a note to me in the teacher's box. Now the student's like, all right, yeah, I'll go. Now I'm practicing literacy, and I'm also not fighting Timmy anymore, or whatever you have. So activities, not only displays, but interactive ways to display anything are great for classroom leadership. The purpose of this presentation is to talk about display boards to share student work. What is essential for the display board that shows student work? What does this display need to have? What is required of me as the creator of this display, or my team? Maybe it's you and a TA, or maybe it's you and a couple teachers if it's a shared space. Well, I'm going to tell you what the display needs. What's missing from this display? Background paper, objectives, title, off the top of my head. How can it be improved? Wrap the board, border the board, give the work a title. Student names, too hard for me to see from here. Maybe it's easier if it's in person, but they should be name tags. Colored backing paper if you can, just to name a few ways to improve a board. What is missing from this display has the objectives. It has a title, the grade, and the names of the students. What is missing? Maybe it's not as interactive. Maybe I could have sticky notes like, which work do you like the best? Or what did you find the most interesting? And then a student can write a note. That's an idea that I can improve this board. Clear labels, objectives, student names, and colorful back paper. Boom. All of them. But it's not interactive. Here's a word wall that I'm working on. It's not interactive either, but it's peer-to-peer learning, as if the students are creating these and they are also, some of them are doing similar words or the same words even, and they can get ideas from each other by reading what somebody else wrote. Or I wrote this sentence. What was your sentence for the word research? I had trouble with that one. I wasn't sure how to use that in a sentence. Then, I can read what Tom wrote or what Phil wrote, and then maybe I can take that idea, borrow their idea, and turn it into my own idea. As you can see, it says working wall because we are working on this word wall, and it's a work in process. It's a work in progress, and you can see the yellow back paper on the side clearly states the whole, what's going on here with the word wall and what's the Frere model. These are all little Frere models. This here is going to be the rubric to help you figure out how or what you are going to be responsible for when it comes to your creation of your displays. So when your line managers or subject leaders come to observe your classes and they are looking at your display boards, they're going to give you feedback using this rubric on your display boards. So this will be connected or correlated to your formal observations. So keep it in mind, take a look at it. If you have any questions, just pop them to Ms. Faria or your line manager, or if you want to come talk to me if you have a question about any of this stuff. Happy to talk about it. That's it for now. I'm going to turn this into an Edpuzzle interactive questionnaire, so those people that are not able to make the meeting will have an opportunity to know what we were doing. And this is going to be the main focus of the Edpuzzle, questions and concerns. What do you think of this display board criteria? Do you have a problem with it? Do you think it's a good idea? Do you think you can manage it? Number two, do you have any suggestions or questions about it? Maybe you have ideas that should be added to something. Maybe the buff, maybe we should say buff needs to be on every display board. Something we could think about. Anyway, that's the type of suggestion you might want to make. What do you need in order to get this done? As in materials, time, help. What materials do you need? I know that some people have covered their boards with backing paper and some haven't. Although I know that I gave everybody the option when we first started out, when I had the paper. And then later I was limited only to international classrooms. Some integrated classrooms got their boards wrapped before I realized I wasn't allowed to do that. Anyway, good on you. Moving forward, what materials? Staples, borders. It has come to our attention. You can just go to Twinkle and you can print borders. Other teachers are designing. They're just folding up paper and then cutting it into the shapes they want and then making it kind of like an art project. So the border is more manageable from a teacher creation standpoint. I mean, you can buy border, but you can make border. Can't really make the big paper. So I think the material, one of the materials, we need to have some more paper on stock, in my opinion, but that might not be shared with the leadership team. That's just me talking. Time, how long will it take you to improve your classroom displays? 1 month? 1 week? 1 term? Tell us how long do you think this will take you to get up to where we want to be, and how can I or anyone help you do this? What can I do for you? I'm going to turn this into an Edpuzzle and see what we want to do with it. Thanks for listening. God bless. Good night.